Up to a couple years ago, I genuinely enjoyed driving. I used to take the long way home on purpose. I'd pick up random roads I'd never been down just to see the scenery, I'd listen to the radio, and honestly, sometimes I'd just go to the store to get out of the house for a bit. But holy hell, man, these last couple years, let me tell you, every time I get in my truck, I feel myself getting angrier and angrier because I already know what's about to happen. Asshole drivers. And I know you know exactly what I'm talking about. Welcome to the If You Do These 16 Things While Driving, You Might Be an Asshole. And let's start out with number 16, the low-hanging fruit, shall we? Now you know who this person is, I guarantee it. The people that refuse to give a simple wave when you let them out into traffic. Now think about this. It's bumper to bumper and there's that poor soul stuck trying to get out of a parking lot. Usually I feel bad. I've got a giant man heart, so I let them cut in front of me. And really all I'm asking in return is for a wave, a little nod, a gesture that says, thank you, fellow human. But these past couple years, the wave is disappearing. I let people out and they just go. Meanwhile, traffic behind me starts stacking up. People are honking. They're on my bumper now, all because I tried to be nice. Is asking for a wave back in return that big of a deal? All I'm trying to say is if somebody lets you out into traffic, give them a nod and let them know that, hey, I appreciate you. Don't be an asshole. Oh, and these next people up, you know what I'm talking about, the people that block the intersections. These are the type of people that are on the main road and then you're coming off of a side road, and instead of giving you some space to get out and turn right or go straight or make a left or whatever you're trying to do, they just pull right up in front of that access road and completely block your path so you can't get out. And I love how every time they block you in, they know what they did, but they refuse to look at you or stare at you because they know that they're the asshole. What I'm trying to say is if you're on a main road and you're pulling up next to a parking lot with an exit or a side road, don't just stop in the middle of that exit. People need to get in and out. You're not the only person that's on the road. Don't be an asshole. Next one up is the four-way stop fools. This one here cracks me up every single time. I pull up to a four-way stop first. Another car pulls up after me. The rule is simple. First stop equals first go. But somehow people get mad at me for going first. And for some reason, I used to feel bad that people got mad at me because I rightfully went first, but thinking about it, why would I let you go first? You're not even gonna wave. And then when I do let you go first, you're still looking at me like I personally ruined your day, like I did something wrong. Maybe I should have got out and apologized for being so nice, but then I would have realized that you're just an asshole. Next one up is highway drivers. Let's talk about the highways. The construction's everywhere, especially in Ohio. It's always construction season in Ohio. You're cruising along and see a giant flashing sign. Left lane closes in 2 miles. So you do the right thing. You move over early to the right lane. Everyone else moves over early in the right lane. A nice orderly line forms. Then here comes the 1 or 10 assholes flying down the left lane, whipping past everyone at 20 miles per hour or faster and cutting in at the front of the line like they're special. And the worst part is people actually let them in. And that's why every backup goes from 2 minutes to 30 minutes, because we reward this behavior. You wouldn't let somebody cut in front of you in line at Disney World. So why is it okay on the highway? Don't let these assholes in, please. All right, now let's go off the highway and back onto Main Street. The Red Arrow Daredevils. My area recently installed a whole bunch of new red lights. Whoever timed them, they're idiots. They are never in sync. It's a total disaster, and cars do get backed up. So people get impatient. Light turns yellow, they floor it. Light turns red, and they're still flooring it. Everybody is trying to beat the red light, so they pull right out in front of oncoming traffic like they don't even care. But that's not even the best part. The people that actually have the green light to start to go, they see these people turning on red, and it's almost like they literally try to speed up and drive into that person. It's bad enough that you have a bunch of idiots that are always making left or going straight on red lights trying to beat that light because they don't want to sit there for another one. But the people that see that and say, oh, I'll show you for running that red light, you're an idiot too. You don't have to high speed crash them just to teach them a lesson. The other day I seen a bad accident because this exact scenario happened. They cleaned up the accident like a half an hour later, and on my way back home, the exact same thing happened in front of me. It's like people are out here literally playing chicken with 2-ton vehicles because they don't want to wait for another 45 seconds. Assholes. So let's talk about the next one here that's really becoming an issue with a lot of people, and it's causing a lot of outrage, and it's just so stupid. Alright, so I drive a lifted Ram with factory LED lights, and they're bright. There's no denying that, but they're stock. I didn't upgrade these things. I even went to the dealership and had them readjust them downward a bit so I wouldn't blind people while I was driving. Doesn't matter. Every night, every morning, someone is high beaming me right in my face. And it's not just like a friendly tap of, hey, you got your high beams on. They're giving me the full triple flash, retina melting seizure blast. So I want to share something that I thought a lot of people knew, but apparently they just don't. You see, on my vehicle, I have something that many other vehicles have. Doesn't matter if it's a truck or a car or an SUV. They're called fog lights. When I'm running my low beams, my fog lights are also running at the same time. They're the two lights on the bottom of my vehicle. And you see, when I turn my high beams on, my fog lights automatically turn off. And then when I turn my high beams off, my fog lights automatically turn back on. Basically what I'm saying to you, if you see these two little fog lights on the bottom of somebody's vehicle, that means that they are not running their high beams. Listen, I am truly sorry that your vehicle is still running fire log starters in your headlamps. But for the past few years, every car manufacturer has been putting brighter LED bulbs in their headlights. It's not the driver's fault. It just is the way it is. So stop trying to melt my face, asshole. And for the people that just drive around with their high beams on all the time, well, you're an asshole too. Just make sure that your high beams aren't on, because this is what's setting a lot of these people off, and that's why they're high beaming me, even though I don't have my high beams on. You understand what I'm saying to you? But then on the other side of the coin, you have the complete opposite type of asshole. This is the person that just drives around with no lights on at all, in the dark. It can be foggy, raining, really dark in the morning, really dark at night, 4 o'clock in the morning. It doesn't matter. They're just driving around in a gray SUV with no lights on. They're in stealth mode. Half these cars have automatic headlights, and somehow people still manage to defeat them. It's honestly impressive in a terrifying way how stupid people can be and just not know that they have no headlights on. I don't get it. And speaking of lights, let's talk about the people that refuse to use turn signals. When did turn signals become optional? I must have missed the memo or something. Left turn, no turn signal. Switching lanes, no turn signal. Drifting across 3 lanes because they just remembered that they need to get off that exit, definitely no turn signal. It's like people want us to guess what they're doing. Spoiler, we can't. I try to be that person that's saying, oh, maybe they're an amputee, but I know that's not the case. You're just an asshole. But none bigger of an asshole are the people that don't understand the yield sign. This one kills me. You're driving straight on the highway, you're doing the speed, someone comes down the on-ramp with a giant yield sign right in front of them. Yield does not mean gun it. Beat the oncoming car. And then get mad when they don't move over. Sometimes I can't move over. There's someone on the left lane that won't let me move over. But people still look at me like I'm the problem. It's your yield sign. I was already on the highway. See, I'm getting very upset thinking about this. At the end of the day, when you're merging onto a highway and you have a yield sign, it is your responsibility to slow down and merge into that traffic. It is not the person on the highway's responsibility to let you in. I mean, what do you think this is? A closed lane 2 miles ahead? My ultimate pet peeve, if there's a turning lane, use it all the way. Don't slow down half a mile early and stop with your butt hanging out in the main lane like a giant traffic cork. You have brakes. You have momentum. You can brake and turn at the same time. Unless there's 53 feet of snow on the roadway, there is no reason why it should take anybody 5 minutes to make a right-hand turn. And then there's some people that really drag this process out. These are the people that take 600 feet to make a turn. Some folks, they start slowing down 2 zip codes away from their actual turn. Blinker on for a half a mile, foot gently tapping on the brake pedal like they're afraid it's going to explode. Just turn, please. I beg you. Are they as bad as the tailgaters in standstill traffic? I mean, bumper to bumper traffic? Nobody can move. It's the definition of pointless. Yet someone always ends up 2 inches from my bumper like I'm personally holding up the universe. Just move back. A little bit. Give me 2 feet of breathing room. I beg of you. But once again, the other side of the asshole coin, we have the opposite type of person. The person who leaves 10 car gaps between each car because they're on their phone and they're not really paying attention. You're already trying to beat the light so you don't have to turn on a red light like we talked about before. So the light turns green, but they don't move. Why? Because they're hunched over in their phone like a raccoon reading a menu. I once seen a guy reading a literal newspaper on the highway. I didn't even know they still printed newspapers, but this guy was literally reading a newspaper driving on the highway. Asshole. And after you get past all of the main streets and the highway, you finally say to yourself, I made it to my destination safe. Unfortunately, this is where you encounter the parking lot asshole. You're already in a bad mood because of all the stuff you dealt with just trying to get to the place you were trying to get to. And now you got to start fighting for parking spots during the holiday season especially. This is Thanksgiving week and it's getting worse out there. Believe me. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. There's always that one person who parks diagonally across 2 or 3 spaces because they don't want their 2008 Subaru to get a door ding. I mean, it's already hard enough to find a parking spot in a lot of these stores. You got the 500 handicap spots, which is fine. But then you got the dedicated members parking, curbside drop-off parking. It's just a whole bunch of parking that's not meant for you. So the dude that's driving the 1978 Pinto, could you do us all a favor and just move your shitbox to the back of the parking lot like a considerate person would? And last but not least, I have 3 bonus gripes I'd like to talk about that I believe a lot of you are going to agree with. Number 1, roundabouts. People just don't know how to use them. They're a thing in the States, and I still don't understand why people can't figure these damn things out. And speaking about not being able to figure things out, school buses, remember how they had those stop signs with the giant flashing lights on the side that would come out when the bus was stopped and picking up children? Yeah, we still need to stop at those things. Guess what? Doesn't matter what size of an asshole you are. If you blow by one of those things and you hurt a kid, I hope you go to jail. And if a cop sees you blowing by one of those things, I hope they pull you over and give you a really big ticket. They should call it the asshole ticket. Now, let me say one more thing. I know a lot of younger people that are around 15, 16 years old, and they're about ready to get their driver's license. And I hear all the time that they just don't want to get their driver's license. They don't want to put up with all the bullshit. And I gotta be honest with you, at first when I heard that they didn't want to drive, I thought they were crazy, but this past couple years, yeah, it's getting worse. And I can completely understand why they don't want to deal with the assholes on the road. And some people might be watching this video saying that I'm just coming on here to complain. And yep, you're absolutely right. That's exactly what I'm doing, complaining. So if you enjoyed the rant, hit the bell, hit the subscribe button, check out another video right here. And if there's anybody that you know that drives the way we're talking about, share this video with them. We'll be back complaining about something else very soon. Bye-bye.